Today is Wednesday, December 21st, 2011. I am standing in front of the Larimer County Justice Center in Fort Collins, Colorado. I am Stacy Lynne. My son is Jaden. I'm here today to officially state and give public notice that I will be commencing lawsuits against the people in the following list for the crimes they have committed against Jaden and me. These crimes include and are not limited to child abuse, reckless endangerment, malfeasance, misfeasance, treason, extortion, violations of state statutes, violations of the Colorado Constitution, violations of the United States Constitution, violations of the Colorado Rules of Civil Procedure, violations of the Colorado Rules of Evidence, violations of civil rights, violations of natural law, and violations of oaths of office. The people who will be sued include and are not limited to Judge Julie Field, Magistrate Mary Jo Baronato, Magistrate Matthew Zay, Magistrate John Jostad, District Attorney Larry Abramson, Deputy District Attorney Cliff Rydell, Sheriff Justin Smith, Sergeant John Fayen, Attorney Amy Antamaria, Attorney Donna Hochberg, Attorney Michael O'Brien, Child and Family Investigator Elizabeth Seebach, and Jeffrey R. Pappenheim. Additionally, the City of Fort Collins and Larimer County will be sued for knowingly and willfully breaking the law. Throughout the duration of these lawsuits, further notice is given to law enforcement, judges, magistrates, all court-associated personnel, and to Jeffrey R. Pappenheim that contact with Jaden in any form is explicitly prohibited, in toto and in perpetuity. We have just been inside the Justice Center for approximately 1 hour to retrieve the permanent orders and to try to speak with the chief judge who is responsible for these orders, to try to speak with the district attorney or any deputy district attorney. Nobody was willing to meet with us. We went in peacefully and politely. It is
Elliot Phelps.
And Elliot Phelps, he is the investigator for Larimer County. It is important to note that constitutional law says, and has been upheld countless times, that unconstitutional statutes, laws, rulings, and orders are void immediately. And further, so-called statutes, rulings, and orders that violate the supreme law of the land, also known as the United States Constitution, are automatically enforceable. The permanent orders read like a horror film. My son has never been alone with the perpetrator in 8 years. My son is afraid for his life. I am afraid for my life and my son's life. The perpetrator has threatened to kill us, both of my son and myself. And the permanent orders that were signed by Judge Julie Field state that the perpetrator is to pick my child up from school, which he attempted to do yesterday, which was Tuesday, December 20th. I learned that he was in the building. I ran to find my son, and I found him curled up in a ball with the perpetrator standing next to him or sitting next to him. And as soon as my son saw me, he said, "Run, Mommy, run." And we ran as fast as we could, and we got away from him. And so I'm reading these permanent orders, and the judge has found it necessary to give this man, who has threatened to kill us both, full custody of my child and giving me supervised visitation. I'm not accused of anything. I am innocent of every offense and every crime. I have not been arrested. I have done nothing to violate any laws in this city, in this state, and in this country. Thank you for all the people who are here today to support truth and justice and to support my son and myself. Thank you so much.
When were you notified?
I was never notified of these orders. I found out as I was running down the hallway at school yesterday that there was some kind of an order entered, but I was not served these orders. I was not notified. They were not mailed to me. So that's why we're here today. I needed to see if there were actually orders in place.
When are they effective?
The orders were effective on December 19th, as soon as they were signed by the judge.
Would Jeffrey need a copy of them to go to the school?
He did. As I was running down the hall, somebody yelled that he did have a copy of the order, and I yelled back, I don't know what the orders are. I haven't seen them. I do not have the orders.
And is it normal for a non-official to transfer custody of a child?
In Larimer County, it's difficult to know what is normal. It truly is. They don't follow any normal procedures. They don't even follow their own guidelines. They don't follow statutes. They consistently make the rules up as they go, so you never know as a parent what to expect. As difficult as it is at this point for me to ask for this, I do need help financially. The judge has also ordered me to pay nearly $14,000 of the perpetrator's attorney fees, and I have to do that within 45 days. The interesting thing about that is Larimer County has restricted my travel to Larimer County, which means that I have not been able to work for nearly a year.
When was the last time that Jaden saw his father, or that you received any kind of material support from his father?
The last material support was 2009, I believe. Maybe the beginning of 2010, I'm not sure about that. And then he has been mainly absent from Jaden's life for nearly 9 years.
Do you think this might be politically motivated?
I do want to comment on the political motivations. I have been an investigative researcher for nearly 4 years. I have exposed corruption at the state level, at the local level, in municipalities across Colorado. I have a reputation for stating the truth and having evidence to support those statements, and I have been successful at stopping some of that corruption. The Larimer County is controlled by mainly Republicans, which there's not much of a balance of power here, so they're basically all working together to silence people who are telling the truth and who are trying to expose things that are happening specifically in the city and the county. And I know they have done similar things to people who have exposed dangerous situations in the dependency and neglect cases and the child welfare cases. This is a widespread problem in Larimer County. There are children who have died because of these people in this building behind us. There are women who have died as a direct result. And there are children who have been raped because of court-ordered officials in this building behind us. The Sheriff's Department and the District Attorney and the Chief Judge have all of the paperwork in this case. I have constantly filed every document with all three of those officials so that they could never claim that they didn't know. There is a paper trail also with the Secretary of State. I have filed the documents there. The evidence on record in this case fills 4 volumes, and there are direct threats against my son and against me. The sheriff knows that. The Sergeant John Fayen is the Crimes Against Persons investigator for Larimer County. He knows that. Sergeant Fayen was a witness for the prosecution, and he lied under oath, so Sergeant Fayen has committed perjury, and we also have that documented. The sheriff and the chief judge and all of the magistrates in this building are aware of the crimes that they have committed against us. There's a paper trail, it's all record evidence. It's all on digital record, along with paper record.
And again, for the record, Judge Field would not allow any of this evidence?
Magistrate Mary Jo Baranano refused to allow evidence 12 months ago. She said that she was making her decisions based on not reviewing or considering the evidence, and that evidence had specifically to do with threats against my child and myself.
I have a question. What deficiencies were found on your part as a parent? in this case?
I haven't read the 15 pages of the final orders, but the deficiencies that they're claiming, and again, these are completely false, is that I have declared myself a sovereign citizen. I have not declared myself a sovereign citizen, but the reason they're doing that is to portray me as a terrorist. The other thing that they are claiming is that I'm a constitutionalist. And being a constitutionalist in Larimer County is equivalent to being a terrorist, because the law is explicitly prohibited from Magistrate Zay's courtroom. It has been explicitly prohibited from Magistrate Jostad's courtroom, from Magistrate Mary Jo Baronato's courtroom. Judge Field, in pretrial hearing and during the trial on November 15, 2011, stated that the law was not allowed to be spoken of. It wasn't mentioned. It was not allowed to be mentioned. I was not to reference any constitutional cases. I was not to reference any constitutional laws. That's what we have in Larimer County. It's consistent. It happens to most of the people who enter this building.
So no neglect, abuse on your part?
Correct. There has been no neglect, no abuse, no
complaints?
No complaints whatsoever from anyone who knows Jane.
And no witness at the trial, when I was there, had a single negative thing bearing upon your parenting skills?
That's a great point. All of the witnesses for the prosecution happened to verify and support my parental skills and my personal character. There were no negative statements about me as a parent, and they have decided to take this child from me. For the papers, for these final orders to state that there was no credible evidence presented, exactly impeaches their witnesses, because their witnesses, and again, remember, I was not allowed to have any witnesses. I was not allowed to have any evidence. I was not allowed to present any documents on my own behalf. Judge Field denied all of those. So yes, they have completely impeached all of their witnesses.
Would you please step out of the roadway? That's what I'm asking you to do. Step out of the roadway. She can't even pull back in the parking spot. Folks, step out of the roadway right now. No, ma'am. I just got this. You need to read it, and you produce your son. Ma'am, please read it, produce your son. You're facing criminal charges. You will be facing criminal charges if you do not produce your son. I am not going to argue with you.
I'm asking for the procedure for all this happening.
The procedure is this, is you're going to have an opportunity to read this. You're going to produce your child to the sheriff's office by noon. Unless you end up getting an injunction or something that's going to squash this. At this point, at noon, the child needs to be brought to the sheriff's office. It says immediately. And therefore, so you're saying that you are refusing to do this?
I'm not saying anything.
Are you saying you're refusing to do this?
I'm not saying anything. I haven't read the papers.
Right, I'm giving you an opportunity to read it and come down to the sheriff's office at noon.
That Sergeant Van Hook for the Larimer County Sheriff's Office is demanding that I give my child to a person who has threatened to kill that child.
Something on his hip.
Hi, I was just letting you know I'm trying to type an emergency injunction as fast as I can, and so that's what I'm doing right now. I need you to know what I'm doing so that you don't think I'm trying to avoid anything.
Ms. Lynne, what you need to do is you need to bring the child to the sheriff's office, and we'll sit there and talk about it, and we'll see what the situation is.
I have to type this injunction. I'm 2 blocks from the courthouse. I've sat down. My computer is turning on right now. I'm trying to type the injunction. Then I will deliver the injunction, and I will also bring one to you and to the chief judge and everyone who needs the copy. There's nothing in writing. There's nothing in writing demanding that I produce this child to the sheriff's office.
arrest. You're under arrest.
With the Court of Appeals.
You're under arrest. Put the phone down now.
For what?
I have a warrant for your arrest. Take the phone down
Can I
now.
see it, please?
May we see the warrant, please?
At the jail, you
Can
can.
I see the warrant?
I think you're supposed to serve it
Cooperate
before we
with me
come.
now.
I will.
Stand up.
I just
Put your
filed
hands behind your back.
Injunction is filed.
Can I turn this off, please?
Yes, you certainly can.
I have a question. Why are you doing this?
Because you're under arrest.
For
There's a
what?
warrant for your
Can you
arrest.
please tell me?
You're a
Ouch!
violation of the court order.
What court order?
The court order giving.
What would you like to do with these items right here?
These
criminal
belong
court.
to-
Okay. Okay.
So I assume a warrant is not going to be produced here?
Yes, no warrant?
No, you'll see the warrant as soon as we go to the jail.
Don't you know
I
you
have
have to
no,
do that
I have no
first?
reason to provide these.
Now you have to provide it to her.
Yes, let's go.
You should have provided here.
Ahead of time.
You're on actually private property right now, and you guys are not following the law.
Stay right there.
I'm going to make sure that she is being handled properly.
Over the curb over there if you want to.
I'm actually on public property right here.
Sir, I'm just telling you can step over
I
there.
understand. I know my rights.
You'll go to jail if you don't comply with what I'm asking.
And I'm not doing anything to not comply. All right. Okay. We're at the general booking area. Fucking real. Okay.
Stacy's going to be stopped.
5,
She told me that.
7,
But they also didn't put it in the uniform. They
there's
knew.
1,000,
They knew.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1540.
That is correct, sir.